Let's get some analysis now with Vesco Garcevic. He's a professor at Boston University and the former Montenegrin ambassador to NATO in Brussels. He joins us now from Boston. Really good to have you back with us, Ambassador. Can I start by asking you for your initial reactions to the very tense argument we saw there in the Oval Office?
Oh, thank you for inviting me. It's always good to be with you. Let me just continue from where my colleague stopped just a moment ago. I see this as a very important difference between Trump's approach and Zelensky approach to this meeting today and to the negotiation in general. I think they approach the negotiation from two different, fundamentally different standing points. For Trump, when speaking about peace, actually, he thinks more about minerals and access to minerals that Ukraine can offer. For Zelensky, it is more about how to conclude this existential war, existential war for Ukraine. He needs to make sure that 3 years of fighting have not gone with the wind, and the main goal of him was actually to have somehow U.S. weighing in and provide security guarantees for Ukraine, which didn't happen. Finally, is the third point, what for Zelensky and many Ukrainians and some Europeans, as you just mentioned, is important. They don't want to be put on equal footing with an aggressor. Accepting peace deal as such, or as proposed by the U.S. right now, is putting Ukraine and Russia on the same position, without making difference who was an aggressor, who is an aggressor, or who is a victim here. In fact, the current approach by White House blames Zelensky and Ukraine for being troublemakers and putting hurdles on their way forward with a peace deal. This is something which was floating in the air before the event, and as you could see, as soon as the event started, actually as soon as negotiations, the real negotiation started, the box was unpacked. The box full of emotions was packed, and we witnessed unprecedented, extraordinary confrontation.
We sure did. And Ambassador, even before this very tense meeting, it's become increasingly clear that Europe can no longer rely on the United States to provide security guarantees for the continent, which has pretty much happened since the Second World War. Do you think Europe is ready to protect itself without the United States?
Europe has no, when it comes to this particular case, in this particular moment. In my view, Europe has no many options at the table. Actually, its room for maneuver is reduced. If Europe gives up providing support to Ukraine, people will read this as giving in to the U.S. and President Trump. So if Europe continues with its support to Ukraine, Europe actually is trying to make its case and to bring itself back to the radar of and somehow deserve the seat at the table once negotiation begins. We can see this also from the perspective of bargaining power at the negotiating table once a real negotiation starts. Though this move of Zelensky was very risky, and I don't know how it is going to end for him in terms of his political career. But as one who teaches negotiation, if we make step back, we can understand why all the parties at this very moment are trying to increase their bargaining power before the negotiation begins. For Ukraine, minerals it possesses is the only bargaining power at this moment. If they give in right now, getting nothing in return, it means that they will sell the Trump card for nothing before the negotiation begins, which will definitely sideline them in the near future. I'm not saying that this approach is good. The approach demonstrated this afternoon by Zelensky is good, but from a perspective of a negotiating dynamics, it can be to some extent justified. At the end of the day, at least for today's meeting, one can draw a conclusion that is a lose-lose party or the lose-lose negotiation, though I know that most Western reporters now actually put the blame on Zelensky or call this disastrous for Ukraine. Don't forget that both sides have something in mind coming to this meeting. For the U.S., it was the deal that will allow them to have access to minerals. For Ukraine and for Zelensky, it was the idea to have security guarantees provided by the U.S. None of this has happened.
Okay, Ambassador Vesco Garcevic, we'll have to leave it there. Thank you so much again for joining us on the program.
Thank you. Thank you.